Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost. Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2023, the album Dad, Shimmy Shimmy AF. Rock on! Gucci Gucci, Louis Louis, Fendi Fendi, Prada. Boost! How are you guys doing today? Okay. Yo, Janet, I'm about to get this. You want this, but you really think that you can get this at first? You dissed us. Now you want to kiss this. Tell them, girls! We're about to read a fool. Too late, you missed this. Welcome to day 2 of summer seminar on how to read a fool. Today, we are going to talk about the writer again. We're going to talk about the writer of the Vanity Fair article, the hit piece on Adam McIntyre that defended Colleen Ballinger. We're going to talk about some updates that have happened in the last 24 hours, as well as a statement that I got from Adam McIntyre about how he is proceeding. And I'm also going to talk about Jeffree Star and some developments with Jeffree Star, some huge developments with Jeffree Star, because I need to do a lighthearted video. I need to do a lighthearted video a little bit. So at the end of this is going to get a little bit serious, talking about the Adam McIntyre, Colleen Ballinger situation, the article in Vanity Fair. But before I get into that, I have to do something a little bit lighthearted. I have done like 5 videos in a row that have been very, very serious, and it's taking a little bit of a toll on me. So I do want to address Jeffree Star and his huge movements forward. So anyway, but before I get into that, there are a couple things that I want to address. First of all, I wore my Read My Lips t-shirt, you can see, that was famous back in the day from ACT UP, a AIDS crisis organization out of New York City, because I wanted to educate Andrew Quintana, the article of the Vanity Fair magazine that obviously has no knowledge of LGBT history whatsoever, as I explained in my video yesterday, and use the stigma of gay men as a defense against Colleen Ballinger's allegations, which is very sad to me, especially since his husband has been nominated for a GLAAD award. I just was completely mesmerized in his article when he used the stigma towards gay men as a defense against Colleen Ballinger. I just was, if you watched my video yesterday, I think you saw how heated I got about that, but I was just absolutely blown away. So to help Andrew Quintana be educated on the LGBTQ history, QIA plus history, I wanted to wear my ACT UP t-shirt today so I could help him go in the right direction a little bit of some of the history that he might want to find. Okay, so you can go out there and you can look up, you can Google LGBTQIA plus history, and you will find that there's a lot of historical reference about the gay rights movement and Sylvia Rivera and on and on and on, Stonewall, and everything that's happened since then, marriage equality, on and on and on. You can do all your own history, but since you're more intent on using the stigma of gay men as a defense to Colleen Ballinger, which is absolutely 100% disgusting, I just wanted to educate you a little bit, okay, that some of us out there do know our LGBT history, because we are proud to be part of the LGBT community, okay? I don't know about you, all right? I don't know if you're more concerned with meeting Molly Shannon on the road in LA in an article that you wrote. I don't know, but we're going to get to Andrew Quintana and the Colleen Ballinger article in just a second, because I have lots to say about that, but I wanted to share that I'm so proud of this t-shirt. I love this t-shirt so much. This is actually, I bought this a couple years ago. It's like a reprint of the original, but back in the day, I had the original. I had a white t-shirt back in the day. This is light blue, but back in the day, I had the original t-shirt, and I loved it so much. Okay, so I wanted to say that, and then I also want to read a comment that I got on my, I'm going to read a couple comments I got on my video yesterday, not all at the same time, but I wanted to read this comment that I got from somebody, because I need to make a correction, okay? And I am going to talk in a little bit about, I don't understand why these authors like Gabrielle Bluestone from the James Charles article or Andrew Quintana from the Vanity Fair article, why they cannot just come out and make a correction. You know, as drama commentary, gossip channels, we're forced to make corrections, or we do make corrections. I like to make corrections because I think that to make corrections and come out and you know, correct something that I've said, or if I get information wrong, I think that it shows me that it shows that I have validity, and that I'm willing to come out and own my mistakes of what I've said, and then that going forward, it shows that I have credibility, right? Okay, so when you run and you hide, and you just hide all of your social media accounts, the same person that was tagging Adam McIntyre, that didn't ask ask him for a comment, but wrote an entire article, hit piece on Adam McIntyre, tagged him, okay, in his articles, but then blocked him, all right? So we're going to talk about that in just a second. But anyway, I wanted to read this comment that I got yesterday because I need to make a correction. So somebody responded to, I said in there, this is the era of me standing up for myself. And I said something to the degree of that I'm going to start fighting back for myself. And one of the things I said in there, you know, that people want to tell untruths about me and things like that, which I meant. One of the things I said in there, because, of course, I have wings on my tongue, and I just, was that, that I was going to challenge people that had opinions that didn't align with me, okay? So this person said, you're going to call people out that don't align with your opinions from now on? Well, I guess there goes the civil conversations in your comment section. Go ahead, call this comment out too, I reckon. Jesus, man, you've become so bothered and borderline unhinged lately. That may be because I've had people trying to get my medical records and contacting my vet and doxing my family members and following all my doctors. Yeah, maybe I am a little bit, okay? But there's reason for it, okay, behind the scenes, which I've addressed in several videos. If you want to call that unhinged, I call it standing up for myself, but you call it unhinged, okay? But anyway, his point is valid. And he said, that may be the reason why a lot more folks are calling you out. They enjoy seeing you get heated. It's your channel, though. Just seems like a waste of energy to focus on the negativity. You do you. I'm not talking about the Adam issue, as I agree with you on that. That journalist shouldn't be writing anything ever, okay? But he was calling me out about this, what I said about that I was going to call people out whose opinions didn't align with mine. When I've always said in my videos that I love your comments in the comment sections and your opinions and things like that, even if they do not align with mine, right? So, hold on just a second. He made that comment, and I have to tell you that a lot of people kind of like came to my defense a little bit on there, but I actually responded to the comment, so let me read my response to you really quick. I responded to the comment, and I said to him, and he was very nice in response too, I said to him, yeah, I shouldn't have said it that way. What I meant to say was that those people who try and discredit my opinion, like in the examples I gave at the beginning of my video yesterday, that said that I was hostile and that I was mocking them, which I wasn't, and I proved, okay? Feel free to continue sharing your opinion. I appreciate different points of view and will correct the stating in my next video. So I just wanted to make sure that I corrected that. And he actually said, thank you, Peter. Also, the end of the video is the best advice I've heard anyone give Colleen. It's exactly what she should do. Couldn't agree more. So I appreciate that, right? I don't have a problem with anybody sharing opposing opinions in my videos whatsoever. And I shouldn't have said that in my video. That wasn't what I meant. I just, you know, I'm a one and done. Like, I hit record and I hit stop and that's my video, you know? I will tell you that yesterday that I had read certain things like the journalist's website, and I like edited out that part and things like that. I'm sure you guys can go find it. It's public information, but I didn't want that coming from my video. So there are pieces from time to time that I have to edit out, but I did want to make sure that I came out and I addressed that, because I don't want anybody to feel like they can't share their opinions on my videos. I've always left my comment sections open, because I think that it's important to have a conversation in the comment section below, and I feel so blessed that the majority of the comments that I get in my videos are just like, people can share differing opinions and they don't come for each other, and I love that on my videos, you know? I love that we can have a conversation with differing opinions and that you guys are not cutthroat about that. So I want to retract that statement and explain that what I really meant to say was that I'm going to come for people that are trying to discredit me, okay? Which we're going to talk about next, because, so thank you for the comment, I want to say that, first of all, because, I was on Adam McIntyre's live stream on Twitch because he was watching my video that I did yesterday, and there kept on coming up this comment, right? And the comment kept on saying, but why does Sean Cody follow you? Why does Sean Cody follow Peter? Okay, so for those of you that do not know, Sean Cody is a gay porn website, all right? I do not follow them. I wouldn't be ashamed if I did, but I don't follow them, okay? I'm a 51-year-old man. If I wanted to follow a gay porn site, I could, okay? But needless to say, I do not follow them. I don't know how they know about me, but I even shared this in a video several years ago. They sent me a huge box of merch and said that they were huge fans of mine, okay? They still follow me to this day. I appreciate the merch. I don't think I've ever worn it in a video. They sent me pop sockets and fans and t-shirts and all kinds of stuff, right? So, another example, I believe, of somebody trying to discredit me, to say that a gay porn website follows me on Instagram. First of all, if you didn't watch my videos about people coming for me and, you know, trying to come behind the scenes and following my family members and following my doctors and following my friends and all kinds of stuff. If I had any control over who followed me, other than blocking those people, don't you think that I would? And to be honest with you, I could really care less that a gay porn website follows me, okay? And and I've been very honest about that in the past when they sent me the merch. So I'm not really sure why that's an issue, that a gay porn website follows a 51-year-old gay married man, okay? But I want to thank them for the merch. If I never did before, I think maybe I showed it and probably thanked them at the time. But I'm not really sure why that's an issue. But yet another example of somebody trying to discredit me, I believe, because I don't know why that was pertinent to the conversation whatsoever. I mean, this person just kept on saying it over and over and over again. I have absolutely no idea why that had anything to do with the video that I did yesterday, okay? So, I don't know who follows me. I don't go in and look deeply at all the people that follow me. Apparently, all of the big celebrities like Sean Cody follow me. So, I just wanted to say that, okay? So today is going to be a hard-hitting piece of deep dive investigative journalism, not unlike those pieces found in the Cosmopolitan and Vanity Fair. We at Peter Monn Industries pride ourselves on having the strongest opinions that we sometimes can't back up, but that's okay. Because there are opinions, and we clearly state that, okay? Yes, Gabby Bluestone and Andrew Quintana, that was shade directed at you. That was a read, okay, girl? So, just so you know, okay, over here at Peter Monn Industries, we share our opinions. I'm not a journalist. I don't claim to be a journalist. I don't have a journalism degree, and I've never been employed as a journalist, okay? I am a drama commentary, tea, gossip, kiki, candle review company channel, okay? And I share my opinion on this channel. Sometimes I get things wrong, and I correct myself, like I just did, okay? But this is my opinion, and sometimes I can't back up my opinion, it's just my opinion, okay? Like Tamara said on The Real Housewives of Orange County, it's my opinion, and I'm entitled to have my opinion, okay? So, let's just not get that twisted real quick, right? Alright, let's go on here now. So, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video that y'all came for, okay, which is talking about, Adam McIntyre in this article and the follow-up that's happened in the last 24 hours, I do want to bring attention to Jeffree Star's new huge move, okay? So, for those of you that were not aware, okay, Jeffree Star, and listen, before I even get into this, hey! Before I even get into this, okay, and I start talking about Jeffree Star's wig here in a second, listen, I don't want y'all coming for me and being like, you're mean, you're body shaming. Girl, listen, okay? It's just not that deep. He does not have to wear a wig, okay? This is a wig that he chose to wear. It is a fashion accessory. So, just like Vogue magazine, just like OK magazine, just like Us magazine, okay, on a very lower level, okay, I am doing commentary on a fashion accessory, okay? Best dressed, worst dressed. And this wig is on the worst dressed list, okay? So let's not get it twisted and saying that I'm shaming Jeffree Star, okay? That's not the... Hair by Jay shamed Jeffree Star by putting that wig on his head. Okay, and I'll tell you right now, if I were Jeffree Star, oh my god, I almost said James Charles. If I were Jeffree Star, I'd be firing Hair by Jay. Hair by Jay is doing Jeffree Star no favors, because we're going to talk about this wig in just a second. But needless to say, for those of you that don't know, Jeffree Star opened this meat and makeup store in Casper, Wyoming, apparently. That is also kind of like a museum. It has his cars and stuff like that. Now, I had thought back in the day that he came out and said that he was also going to have like sets from all of his like makeup shoots and things like that, and maybe those were there. I watched all the TikToks of this gal that like works at the store, was helping him open the store or something like that, and she was walking all around. I saw the whole store, okay? Now, I will say this, okay, and you know, like I say, I always try to be objective and things like that. I would have no interest in going to the store whatsoever, okay? I'm not going to be buying any of Jeffree Star's makeup. I've already seen all of his makeup. I'm a vegetarian. I don't want any of his jerky. I don't want any of his meat. I could care less. Needless to say, I do believe that if you were a Jeffree Star super fan, you probably would take great interest in this store, okay? It was literally a Jeffree store. I mean, it's not a pop-up shop. It's a store, you know? And so, I mean, it's cool if you're a Jeffree Star fan. In fact, there was a huge line of people outside waiting to come into the store, okay? And they have merch, they have hoodies, they have all of his makeup displayed, they have his cars, they have like 4 of his cars or something like that. They have a whole area where you can, all this kind of stuff. So congratulations to Jeffree Star on that, okay? And like I said, no, I would have no interest in going to the store, okay? I'm not a fan of Jeffree Star's. I don't need any of his makeup, and I don't need any of his merch. I could care less. Those mirrors are plastic junk. They're like Barbie cars, and I don't care to see his cars, okay? I can look at them online if I wanted to. So there's no, and I don't eat meat, so there's no reason for me to go there yakety yak and don't talk back. I could care less, okay? But if you are a fan of Jeffree Star's, I think that you probably would have great interest in this. So congratulations to Jeffree on this. I know this is something that he has wanted to do for quite some time, okay? Now, Hair by Jay has been doing, Hair by Jay was at the opening, okay? Hair by Jay, who Jeffree Star said, good morning to everybody except the person that I fired this morning or my hairstylist that used to work for me or whatever, right? When Hair by Jay came out for Trisha Paytas years ago, that Hair by Jay, that then Jeffree Star 2 weeks later was in videos with Hair by Jay doing his hair, he never fired him, okay? That was a lie straight from the pit of hell. So when people want to say that Jeffree Star doesn't lie, Jeffree Star came out and said that he fired his hairstylist, but then his hairstylist was working for him 2 weeks later, okay? I have evidence to that in my phone, in my 10,432 receipts. I have evidence to that. So, as probably do most drama channels. So, yeah. So, Hair by Jay, who I don't really think is that great of a hairstylist, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion, I don't think it's that great of a hairstylist, but he's been doing Jeffree Star's hair for quite some time. So, he did this high center ponytail, kind of crimped look, okay, for Jeffree Star for the opening of the store. It was horrible, okay? It was, and I should have had a picture to throw up here, but I don't, okay? It was weirdness. I don't understand. And I just want to say, for those of you that want to come over here and say, well, you never give Jeffree Star any props, listen. I have in past videos, okay? There have been times that I think that Jeffree Star looks fantastic. That ball Monn dress that he wore years ago with the shoulder length bob, I thought he looked fantastic in that. He looked classy, he looked great, okay? But this high center ponytail deal from 1980 looking, I mean, it was ridiculous, okay? I mean, it was Debbie Gibson's nightmare from 1987 or something like that, okay? Why he thought this was good, I don't know. But then he comes out and he has this updo on, okay? He's wearing this, like, Jeffree Star or Gucci, like, I have the picture in my phone. I have to just, I don't know where it's at, but I'm going to throw the pictures up here anyway. But he's got this jumpsuit on, you know, not jumpsuit, what do you call it, leisure suit, you know, is that what we call those things now? I mean, when you're like under 30, you call them, what do you call them, like the sweatsuits or something like that, but when you're over 40 or over 30, you call them leisure suits, right? So he's got this like Gucci or Jeffree Star, I think it's a Gucci one, leisure suit on, and then he's got this wig on top of his head, okay? I was so confused when I saw this wig that Hair by Jay put up. And Jeffree Star is posting pictures of this wig everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to put it up here for you. Now, when I saw this wig, I thought that it was Flo from the TV show Alice. I was like, is he now like Trisha Paytas, who does all these, you know, parodies of impersonating people? Is he impersonating Flo from the TV show? Did y'all watch that TV show Alice back in the day? You know, with, what's her name, Linda Lavin, where she was the waitress at the diner, Mel's Diner, and then Flo, who said, kiss my grits, and all that kind of stuff. Is he trying to embody Flo? I'm so confused by this wig, okay, first of all. Second of all, I'm so confused by why you would be shooting at 400 pictures of this wig that is ugly, okay? This is the ugliest wig. I mean, this ages you up about 20 years, all right? I don't understand why you're wearing this Ava Gabor wig from 1975, okay? And this alone, I think, shows that Hair by Jay has no expertise in hair whatsoever, okay? This is just weirdness to me whatsoever. Mind you, okay, I just want to say, again, don't be coming for me and saying I'm being mean. This is my critique of a fashion accessory, and I can have that critique, okay? So anyway, I want to say that, but I was so confused by that. But girl, here's my question to you, okay, up in that wig. In that wig, what NFL player or NBA player is hitting you up in your DMs, girl, wanting to do it, okay? Wanting to do the romanticals and get nasty. In that wig, girl. In that wig specifically. I don't believe it. If any NBA player or an NFL player is reaching you out, they're calling up mom asking for a ride home from practice, okay? They ain't trying to hit that wig, okay? That ain't doing you no favors, girl, okay? I mean, it ain't doing you no favors whatsoever. That wig is weirdness, okay? That is an Ava Gabor wig from 1975. Trust me, my aunt used to wear that wig, okay? I know that wig. All you have to do is Google search Ava Gabor wig and you're gonna find it, okay? It's not pretty. I don't like that wig, okay? And that's my opinion! So anyway, and so that was my whole thing about Jeffree Star. Let me know what you think about all that. But congratulations on opening your pop-up shop. Congratulations on opening up your makeup and meat museum, okay? So anyway, congratulations on that. No, I do think it's nice. This has been something that he's wanted to do for quite some time, and really nobody else has ever done this before, so I do think that's kind of a cool thing, right? Okay. So anyway, now I want to talk about, whoo! It is so hot out here. And you know what? I forgot to, but before I get into this next part, I want to get into my chapstick, okay? This was a pencil case that my mother-in-law brought me from Chile. Wasn't that so nice? Okay, so I wanted to break out my Jolly Rancher Green Apple Bitters because I'm about to get bitter here. And this is the part of the video where I read a fool again. Okay, this is the part where I read a fool again. We're going to read Andrew Quintana again here just a second, okay? But I wanted to talk about, so if you watch my video from yesterday, I talked about Andrew Quintana and how he was the article, or the writer for the article in the Vanity Fair, which we're going to get to in just a second. But I referenced in there that I was kind of wondering what his end was, because he had just graduated from college, okay? People were speculating in Adam's live stream, like, how did I know he was 23? It says all over the world that he's 23, okay? It says it on his bio. It says everywhere else, okay? Andrew Quintana, 23-year-old, blah, 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 just graduated from Bennington College. This is public information. You can go find it. You can go find it on his bio. You can go find it on his website. It's public information, okay? So let's not get it twisted, right? So I was questioning how a 23-year-old is able to work for a magazine like Vanity Fair right out of the gates, okay? I mean, other than an article that he wrote in college about meeting Molly Shannon and all this kind of stuff, he really hasn't written a lot that's been published. So I was very interested in how he was writing for a major publication like Vanity Fair. Now, love them or hate them, okay? To write for Us Magazine, Vanity Fair, any of these kinds of magazines, okay? Especially a magazine like Vanity Fair that has a long history, okay? And says that they hire the best writers. Joke. I'm very confused as to how he got a job straight out of college working on his master's degree. Well, I started being reached out to people that were telling me that his husband worked for Vanity Fair as well. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And so I went on, and his information is on Vanity Fair's information. You can see it right here. His husband is a staff writer at Vanity Fair covering award season. That's probably why they didn't give the Oscar season to Andrew, because his husband already had it. He's a staff writer at Vanity Fair covering award season for the HWD section. He joined Vanity Fair from Entertainment Weekly, where he was the movies editor and oversaw awards coverage. He is a National Arts and Entertainment Journalism Award finalist and GLAAD Media Award nominee. Now, I don't want to diminish anything that he has done, okay, because I did not look that deeply into him, and he's not the one that wrote the article, okay? His husband wrote the article. So I'm not going to blame him for the article that his husband so poorly wrote, okay? But what I will say is that you would think that somebody, okay, that was gay and married and had a husband that was nominated for a GLAAD award, okay? A GLAAD award. So I'm very confused about that, and for those of you, let me just give you a definition of the GLAAD Award. So, since for those of you that don't know what the GLAAD Awards are, okay, let me pull this up. The GLAAD Media Award is a U.S. accolade bestowed by GLAAD to recognize and honor various branches of the media for their outstanding representation of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community and the issues that affect their lives, okay? So the husband of a nominee of a GLAAD Award use the gay community's stigma, okay, of being pedophiles as an excuse and a defense against Colleen Ballinger. Girl, I need to pull out my poopery, okay, because the shit stinks up in here. This is too much, okay? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay? Now, That's obviously how he got his in to Vanity Fair, was because his husband is a staff writer there. Okay, so now we know, okay, that Vanity Fair gave him special treatment to write this article because his husband is a staff writer, okay? Not to mention that Adam McIntyre in his live stream today proved that Colleen Ballinger has done many videos for Vanity Fair in the past, okay? As Miranda sings and as the character and as Colleen Ballinger. So she's done videos as Colleen Ballinger and as Miranda sings, okay, for Vanity Fair. So she's had a close relationship with Vanity Fair through the years, okay? Now, a freelance writer whose husband just happens to be a staff writer at Vanity Fair, okay, is writing this hit piece on Adam McIntyre in defense of Colleen Ballinger. Yeah, the math ain't mathin' to me, okay? Or it is kind of mathin' to me, in all honesty. And listen, I ain't got my reading glasses on, and I hardly graduated from high school, but I can do that math, okay? That math is not adding up, okay? Because what it says to me is that you got some kind of in, and you are, this was a hit piece that was allegedly, okay, conspired by Colleen Ballinger's camp, okay? Because she had worked closely with Vanity Fair in the past, so I just want to say that, all right? Anyway, I started getting comments from people last night that were saying that Vanity Fair updated their article, all right? So I went in and I screenshot their entire new article and I started laying it out side by side with their old article. And I was like, there's nothing different except for the fact that they had gotten wrong, and I didn't say this in my video yesterday, but they had gotten wrong where Adam McIntyre was from, okay? They had said Brighton. So I was very confused as to what they changed in this article. I literally went through it paragraph by paragraph, okay? They didn't take out the misinformation. They didn't add about Cody Tyler and the fact that Cody Tyler was the one that initiated all this. They didn't change anything except for the fact of where Adam McIntyre was from. Now, I don't know why they thought that was an important piece to change, but not the rest of it. And I just have to tell you, a lot of other people were wondering too, because somebody on here said, does anyone have the original? Because the Andrew Quintana piece in Vanity Fair has been updated, but they don't say what. Usually it's very specific. Why are they being extra shady? And somebody said, as of yesterday, it was just one sentence where they changed Adam's from location. And somebody said, thank you. So in other words, nothing significant. And this person responded and said, I guess it depends on how you look at it. To me, it just proves they didn't even do bare minimum of research. It's public information. A whole country wrong. Shaking my head. The guy that wrote the article even blocked Adam, which he did, after he tagged him, after the guy tagged him on IG. So the writer was so proud of his article that he didn't even reach out to Adam for a statement, put the article up on his Instagram, tagged Adam in it, and then when Adam called him out for it, for getting all of his information wrong and being misleading and writing a coercive piece, okay, that was negligent, he blocked Adam. So you tagged Adam in your Instagram, but you blocked him. Again, the math ain't mathin', and I ain't breaking out that poopery because that bottle stinks. I don't like that bottle, okay? So this person said, oh, I didn't know they got the country wrong. That's not a tiny mistake. Were they saying he was from the U.S.? And this person responded and said they said he was from Brighton, England. It's been changed to Irish teenager, okay? So, thank you, Vanity Fair, for correcting that one piece. You couldn't have corrected the rest of the piece. And this is what is so interesting to me, okay? Y'all research journalists and writers and things like that, why is it so difficult for you to come out? Like, are you afraid of giving back the money? Is there some legality that once the article goes live? I mean, I'm so confused by this. Can somebody that works in the magazine world explain this to me? Because if I had written that article and I really was innocent and had no knowledge of any of this, and I just didn't do my research, I would come out with a statement, as I do in my videos when I correct myself. I would come out in a statement and say, I have had Vanity Fair remove the article. I did not do my due research on this, and it was negligent, and it was misleading, and I greatly apologize to Adam McIntyre and the other victims. It was an unfair article, and I should have done better research on this. I apologize greatly to Adam McIntyre, and no, you're not going to edit your article. It's not going to go up again, okay? And I removed the article. Gabrielle Bluestone needs to do this too, okay, for the Cosmopolitan. Why do these people run and hide? What you're saying is you stand behind your article, okay? Why is it so we expect all these people to come out, okay, and explain their behaviors, but we allow these journalists, writers, essayists that are greatly swaying the narrative, and major magazines like Cosmopolitan, you guys can sit there and reduce them and say that they're no better than the National Enquirer, and maybe you're right, okay? but they have a huge readership. Cosmopolitan and I almost said National Enquirer, which they do. Cosmopolitan, they have the Sheila Wood Friendship Club too. No, that's the Examiner, sorry. Cosmopolitan and Vanity Fair have a huge readership. This is going to stop, hold on a second. Okay, they have a huge readership, right? So when you're writing a negligent article that leaves out major information to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, you are misleading, okay, a narrative. So why you can't just come out in a statement to protect yourself in the future, because I will be watching you very closely with every article you write in the future, okay? Why you can't just come out with a statement and own it and say, I made a huge mistake. You don't need to privatize your Instagram. You don't need to hide your Twitter. Your husband doesn't need to hide his social media accounts, which he's done. You guys are like, I don't know how you think that you're going to survive as major writers for major publications like Vanity Fair when you are like interacting with celebrities and writing articles about meeting Molly Shannon and winning GLAAD awards, and you all have privatized social media accounts. I don't know how you think that running and hiding is the right answer. Why don't you just come out and do the right thing and apologize for it, take accountability for it? People will say, hey, wow, thank you. That was a really honest, you did a great thing by taking responsibility for this. You can leave your social media up. You don't need to hide. Hiding from it says that you feel like you did something wrong. You didn't even come out and explain why you hid from it. At least come out and explain why you hid from it. Is that going to be your next hard-hitting investigative piece on Vanity Fair? Why I hid my social media accounts because I couldn't handle the criticism that was coming for me? Give me a break. Seriously? Just come out and do the right thing, you know? Just come out and say, I got it wrong, okay? Gabrielle Bluestone on the James Charles article, that was a complete defense of James Charles. And Andrew Quintana for Vanity Fair, that was a complete defense of Colleen Ballinger and a hit piece on Adam McIntyre. Just come out and do the right thing. You don't need to hide your social media accounts. Just come out and say the right thing and say, I did not do my research. And it was negligent, and I take responsibility for it. It's really not that difficult, okay? I don't know why we have to make this and spin this into such difficult situations. It's just really not that hard, you know? And I just want to say this one last thing, too, on here before I read Adam's statement. That people keep on saying that Adam's dragging this out, dragging this out. He should drag it out. He should drag it out as long as he possibly can. Good. I hope he does, okay? And you would only be bothered by the fact that Adam is dragging this out if you are a Colleen Ballinger super fan, okay, standing by her, or that you don't like Adam and both of the things are personal to you, okay? So for that reason, you discredit yourself when saying, oh, he's just dragging this out, and why is he dragging this out? This is personal to Adam, okay? And it's obviously personal to you. And I also want to read this comment that I got on my video yesterday. Hold on just a second. This is another comment that I want to read. This person said to me, okay, people are more outraged about Colleen Ballinger than actual real horrible issues like child trafficking, which the movie The Sound of Freedom highlights. Peter, the fact that you put so much energy into this, you need to think about what's important and real. Just imagine if you spent time and energy towards important topics that matter rather than being a distraction. You minimize me to a distraction, okay? Meditate on that because you have a platform and the gift of articulation and captivation, which I want to say I appreciate the compliment of saying that I have a gift of articulation and captivation. Thank you. I really appreciate that, okay? But to say, just imagine if you spent time and energy towards important topics, minimizes the stories of the victims, okay? And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about people discrediting this and saying that we need to move on from this and we don't need to talk about this anymore, okay? This is what I'm talking about, all right? Is that it's people like you that are saying there are more important topics out there. I'm not saying that there aren't. I'm not saying that child trafficking and the stories that are, you know, shown in the movie The Sounds of Freedom and things like that. I'm not saying that all that. And I listen, and I watch a lot of that on the news, okay? But I've made this very, very clear for a long time. First of all, my channel is called Peter Monn. I don't know if you can see underneath this video. You can look and see, but it says Peter Monn, okay? It doesn't say Judy Smith, and I'm not going to call you out by your name, but it doesn't say your name either, okay? But I'm going to tell you what we can do with this, okay? Because I do believe that there are very important topics out there to be discussed, okay? I think there are very important topics to discuss other than the Colleen Ballinger situation. For example, child exploitation and child trafficking, sex trafficking. I think that there are a lot of things that we need to talk about human rights, okay? And on and on and on, okay? And I talk about them from time to time on my video, but let's not get it twisted. I am a drama commentary, gossip tea channel, talking about public figures on YouTube and pop culture, okay? That's what my channel is. I've never hid from that. I've never said I was a journalist, and I'm not going to change my channel into a journalism degree or journalism, a channel covering political issues just because you think I should, because you want to diminish these victim stories, okay? Of course, there's a lot of important issues in the world, all right? Now, do you go to channels that cover sports, or do you go to channels that cover movie reviews and tell them that they should be stopping doing movie reviews and they should be covering important topics like all of this? Do you tell them that? Do you tell other YouTubers how to run your channel, how to run their channel? You know, I mean, I was sitting there last night and I'm watching this A&E special about the secrets of the Miss America organization, okay? With the Me Too movement and how the organization was run by these shady-ass CEOs and on and on and on and all the changes that happened. Would you write to A&E and tell them that they should be not having these people share their stories of how they were greatly affected by their traumatic experiences that they went through, and that they should come out and that they should instead only cover things that you want them to? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do with that, okay? Why don't you come up with a list of all the appropriate topics that you think that I should be discussing? You can put a whole list, okay, of all the appropriate topics that you can put it in my comment section if you want, okay? You can put appropriate conversations that I need to discuss, all the topics that I need to discuss in my video, okay? And then for all of you out there that think that I should stop talking about this and that you want to direct what I should talk about on my channel, you guys can all co-sign underneath that. And then I'll tell you what you can do with that, okay, other than shove it up your ass. You all can go and start a collective channel and you guys can go talk about those things, because that's not what my channel is about. My channel is called Peter Monn, and Peter Monn talks about what Peter Monn wants to talk about on his channel. Let's not get it twisted, okay? And if I want to talk about Jeffree Star's wig, or I want to talk about Colleen Ballinger, or I want to talk about Shane Dawson, Trisha Paytas, or James Charles, I will do that, okay? So let's not get it twisted. You aren't going to movie review channels and telling them that they're not talking about important topics. Don't come over here and minimize the seriousness of these allegations, which you did, and said that they are not important, okay? That is problematic at best. Huge issues with that. Lord, I'm getting so heated, okay? So now let's read Adam's statement. So I reached out to Adam. Now Adam has made this very clear. He's put, oh, look, the Lord, sun is coming out. The Lord's coming out. He said, preach, fool. Preach, fool. That's me. I'm the fool. Okay, so Adam has made this very, very clear on social media, but I also did reach out to him because I wanted to ask him, like, what going forward was going to happen. And so I said, can you give me a statement on what you're going to do moving forward? And Adam said, we gave them, Vanity Fair, 24 hours to respond, and they didn't. So we're issuing a legal letter of correction or retraction. That's what's happening right now. So Adam is going to be issuing a legal letter of retraction, okay, from Vanity Fair. Which he should, okay? Because the article was misleading, misguided, poorly researched, coercive, okay? So, and it was negligent. At best, it was those things. So absolutely Adam should pursue this. Period, end of story. To leave that story out there, Vanity Fair, you should be ashamed. Adam Quintana, you should be ashamed. Gabrielle Bluestone, you should be ashamed. Cosmopolitan, you should be ashamed. You are part of the reason why these people get away and continue to have careers 3 years later. Okay, so you guys want to talk about why this isn't serious? Okay, and I've rode real hard for the friends that still to this day, you know, hey, listen, I haven't even gotten to the Patrick Star situation, okay? Which, yes, I know that it was his media team that posted the Colleen Ballinger video, but that's a video that I'm going to make because Patrick Star, till this day, still follows Colleen Ballinger, okay? Like many of these people do, which we're not going to get into all that today, but I rode real hard for these friends. But let's also talk about mainstream media that paints a huge, misguided image of what the true story is, and then you want to know why James Charles has a career 3 or 4 years later? This is why, okay? Because of articles like Cosmopolitan that come out and minimize the allegations and the seriousness of the situation, okay, to his defense. And when we want to talk about how this is played out in the court of public opinion, these are people that are character witnesses to James Charles and to Colleen Ballinger. These articles are character witnesses on the stand of public opinion in defense of these people. Let's not get it twisted, okay? That's what they're doing. They're defenses against these people as character witnesses. So when we want to talk about how these people say all the time to me, how does James Charles still have a career? Because Gabrielle Bluestone wrote an article for Cosmopolitan magazine to hundreds of thousands of people that still hasn't been retracted, that is poorly researched in defense of James Charles. That's how. Because Andrew Quintana wrote a hit piece on Adam McIntyre painting him as a stalker, okay? And all this other kind of stuff, and didn't do his research, and it's still on Vanity Fair. That's how these people continue to have a platform, okay? Because they have character witnesses that are huge media outlets that when people are reading this article and they're like, well, I don't know. A lot of people comment on my videos and say, I don't know these people that you're talking about. So if you're reading an article about this and it says on there that Adam McIntyre makes all these videos and you don't know about Cody Tyler and you haven't followed all this kind of stuff from time to time and you don't know about all that kind of stuff, then you wouldn't know the facts and you would believe what you read in these articles because these people are distinguished journalists, right? Because Vanity Fair hires the best journalists. So you would assume that they had done their due research. That's why it's important to call them out. That's why it's important to ask for the articles to be retracted and taken down. Because if they're left up, then the narrative is left up. And people that don't know the story are going to read it. And they're going to be like, well, Colleen Ballinger isn't that bad of a person. This Adam McIntyre is a bad person. He obviously has been gunning for Colleen Ballinger for years. She didn't do anything wrong. Here, Rolling Stone said she didn't do anything wrong. The Huffington Post didn't say anything wrong, and which he uses as an example. And here again is Vanity Fair, and they said she didn't do anything wrong. Well, if Vanity Fair and Rolling Stone, which he highly edited the excerpts that he wanted to use to his defense, if Rolling Stone, Huffington Post, and Vanity Fair said that Colleen Ballinger didn't do anything wrong and I don't know the story, then Colleen Ballinger must not have done anything wrong, and it's this Adam McIntyre person. That's why this article is so problematic and why these articles need to be taken down. And then you guys want to know why these people still have careers 3, 4, 5 years later? This is why. In addition to their friends that continue to support them and then later show up at birthday parties with cakes that say, and you did it at my birthday party, okay? Minimizing the allegations that were true, that James Charles took responsibility and accountability for. It's sickness to me, okay? And then people go, what's the big deal? Well, what's happened is that as a society, we have become, we've become immune to the seriousness of all of this because it's too much. We don't know what to do with it, right? And so we've just become immune to it. And then we say, well, it's not that big of a deal anyway. And then look at this article. This article backs up that it's not that big of a deal. The friends still hang out with him or her, so it must not be that big of a deal. They still follow him. They still follow her, so it must not be that big of a deal. And that's the evidence that we use to excuse those people. So yes, it is important that her friends come out and let us know where they stand. Yes, it is important that these articles get their facts correct, okay? And it is important that narratives that are spun, that are untrue, are taken down and discredited. Because those misleading narratives are what people that don't know the story are going to run with. And then 5 years down the road, they're going to still have a platform. Okay? That's why it's important to continue to talk about this. But what do I know? Maybe I should just do movie reviews over there. Apparently movie review people don't get told what to do in their videos. Anyway, my channel's called Peter Monn, and Peter Monn does what he wants to do on his channel, and this is what I wanted to talk about today. Anyway, let me know what you think about all that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.